The air across the Heartland Ranch is thick with an unspoken anticipation, a quiet hum that promises change. For those who have kept the faith, who have felt the lingering ache of absence, the dawn of season 19 arrives not just as a new beginning, but as a seismic shift in the very landscape of the Bartlett-Fleming legacy. This is more than a new installment, it's a journey back to the core of what Heartland means: resilience, family, and a love that time itself cannot diminish. Prepare yourselves, because the premiere of this season is poised to etch itself into memory, primarily because Ty Borden, a name synonymous with hope and heartache, is once again walking the familiar paths of the ranch. Yes, the news is true. After an eternity of uncertainty, of questions whispered into the prairie wind, the man whose shadow never truly left has found his way back. His reappearance is not a fleeting glimpse. It's a tidal wave of feeling, promising to overwhelm, to bring forth tears, and to make every shared glance a monumental event. But Ty's return is merely the catalyst. What unfolds is a profound emotional cascade as Amy confronts the ghost of her past, now made real, the love she had painstakingly begun to lay to rest. Lindy, his daughter, stands on the precipice of knowing her father, a moment laden with a fragile, earth-moving tenderness. The reactions from the family are as authentic and potent as one would expect. Jack's deep, contemplative sorrow and strength, Lou's protective instincts flaring, Georgie's stunned silence, and Tim's own complex web of emotions. It's all laid bare, more intensely than ever imagined. We will explore every nuance, every shared look, every quiet moment of dawning hope as this pivotal episode unfolds. The episode commences with a familiar sweeping vista of the Heartland Ranch, the early morning light painting the Alberta landscape in hues of gold and amber. The endless sky, the frost-kissed fields, and the iconic red barn stand as steadfast witnesses to the passage of time and the endurance of memory. For devoted followers, this is not mere cinematography, it is a return to a cherished sanctuary. Each image is a tender caress, a visual homage to the series' enduring spirit, where every corner holds a story, and every gust of wind carries echoes of love and profound loss. As the camera descends, focusing through the quietude, we find Amy Fleming, portrayed with an innate, soul-deep sensitivity by Amber Marshall, engaged in her morning rituals. She moves among the horses with an accustomed gentleness, her presence a blend of tranquility and a deep, unspoken sorrow. Her expression carries a subtle, persistent ache, the kind that doesn't scream but rather settles deep within, a quiet testament to years lived under the shadow of his absence. Ty's presence, or lack thereof, is not just noted, it is etched into every hesitant movement, every prolonged gaze, every sentence left incomplete. The camera thoughtfully lingers on small, poignant details. Amy resting her head against a horse's neck, her eyes closed in a moment of silent reflection, her fingers tracing the familiar contours of a worn saddle, as if recalling the touch of hands that once worked alongside her. These understated moments are pure visual poetry, revealing a woman still shouldering the weight of a love interrupted, even as she draws strength from the rhythms of the ranch. The ranch, once a symbol of their shared dreams, has become a haven for healing, and Amy's journey through grief is evidently an ongoing process. Inside the Heartland homestead, the morning light streams through the rustic panes, bathing the kitchen in a warm, inviting glow, a space that resonates with familiar comforts. The aroma of brewing coffee and freshly baked scones mingles in the air. At the table sits Lindy, her eyes bright with the innocent wonder of childhood, her animated chatter about her pony, her friends at school, and her small heartfelt aspirations, injects a lightness into the atmosphere, a buoyancy Amy cherished. Their connection is palpable, a quiet affirmation of the love that persists, even in the face of enduring heartbreak. But then, the inevitable question arises, uttered with childlike innocence, yet carrying the power to halt the world. "Mommy, do you ever think Daddy might come visit us from heaven?" The air stills, Amy visibly falters, the sudden flood of memories momentarily breaking her composure. Her voice, when she finally speaks, is gentle but firm, laced with both sorrow and unwavering love. She explains to Lindy, in words carefully chosen for a child's heart, that her daddy had to leave, that his love for them is eternal, a part of the stars, even if he isn't physically present. It's a moment that throbs with raw tenderness, showcasing the incredibly difficult balance of protecting a child's innocence while honoring the profound depth of what has been lost. Then, as the morning routine attempts to reassert itself, the atmosphere subtly shifts. A solitary figure is seen on the distant horizon, almost a mirage against the vast expanse of the land. The camera pulls back, emphasizing the isolation and the gradual approach of this unknown individual, before slowly closing in on Amy's expression of startled awareness. Her brow knits in confusion, her breath hitches. An inexplicable recognition seems to stir within her, a primal instinct preceding conscious thought. She takes an involuntary step forward, her heart beginning to pound. The figure draws nearer, each step bringing the unbelievable into sharper relief. The silhouette takes on a familiar form, and then in a single stunning moment, he steps fully into the morning light. Ty Borden. The accompanying music swells, not with grandiosity, but with a poignant, aching restraint. Ty stands motionless, his gaze locked on Amy, his eyes conveying a universe of unspoken emotions, longing, apprehension, and a fragile hope. Time itself seems to suspend. Amy's composure shatters, a maelstrom of shock, disbelief, and an overwhelming surge of love coursing through her. Tears well in her eyes as she moves towards him, slowly, hesitantly, as if afraid to trust what she sees, yet desperately needing it to be real. The reunion is initially wordless. Her trembling hand lifts, tentatively touching his cheek, a silent question seeking assurance of his reality. His hand gently covers hers, then, in a cathartic release of pent-up emotion, they collapse into each other's embrace. It's more than a hug, it's a spiritual homecoming, years of agonizing separation dissolving in a single soul-affirming instant. Both are weeping, their hearts communicating what words cannot yet express. When Ty finally speaks, his voice is low, thick with the weight of his journey. He begins to explain the unfathomable, a covert operation, a life-threatening situation that forced him into a clandestine program designed to protect witnesses, compelling him to vanish without a trace, to ensure Amy and Lindy remained safe from a vengeful criminal enterprise he helped dismantle. Only now, after years of enforced silence and relentless yearning, has the threat been neutralized, allowing his return. The truth emerges, detailing not just the circumstances, but the profound heartbreak of his enforced absence. This sequence is a masterclass in emotional storytelling, visually arresting, painfully raw, and deeply resonant. It serves as a potent reminder of what elevates Heartland beyond mere entertainment. It's a narrative about love's indomitable power, the unbreakable bonds of family, and the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit when faced with unimaginable trials. As Ty continues his explanation, his voice carries a slight tremor, a delicate fusion of regret, tentative hope, and profound longing. Amy remains still, absorbing his every word as if attempting to etch each syllable into her memory. Her eyes, wide with a mixture of disbelief and overwhelming emotion, spill over with tears. A wave of relief washes through her, yet it is intertwined with a deep, abiding sorrow, the kind born from lost time, from milestones unshared, and from countless nights spent wrestling with unanswered questions. She now grasps that Ty's absence, however agonizing, was a sacrifice, but this understanding doesn't magically erase the pain of their separate ordeals. Her entire body seems to tremble as she processes the enormity of his revelation, and when Ty gently, hesitantly reaches for her hand, she doesn't pull away. Instead, she closes the small distance between them and enfolds him in a long, tear-filled embrace, a single moment that begins to mend years of heartache. Inside the ranch house, young Lindy, her face pressed against the cool window pane, watches with a child's uncomprehending curiosity as her mother clings to this unfamiliar man. Her brow furrows, she has no memory of him, yet an indefinable something about his presence feels significant, resonant. Driven by an almost magnetic pull she cannot yet articulate, Lindy quickly dons her boots and hurries outside, her small feet pattering across the porch. As she approaches, her steps slow, the intensity of the connection between the man and her mother giving her pause. She looks up at Amy, her eyes silently seeking clarification, reassurance. Amy kneels, her own eyes still glistening, and offers her daughter a small encouraging smile. Ty turns, and for the very first time, his gaze meets that of the daughter he has only held in his dream. His expression transforms instantly, his face illuminated with awe, profound love, and a longing so potent it seems to almost buckle him. Ty slowly lowers himself to Lindy's level, his voice husky with emotion, as he murmurs, "Hello, Lindy." The words are simple, yet they are laden with the weight of 1,000 cherished, unspoken hopes. Lindy observes him with a solemn intensity, her young mind grappling with the identity of this man. But sometimes, children possess an intuition that transcends verbal explanation. As if guided by an unseen thread, she takes a hesitant step, then another, and then, with a sudden burst of childlike impulse, she runs and throws herself into his outstretched arms. Ty catches her, holding her tightly, his own body shaking with suppressed sobs as he buries his face in her sun-kissed hair. The moment is incandescently pure, achingly tender, and utterly unforgettable, a reunion that bridges time and absence, cementing a bond that was always destined to be. News of Ty's return travels through Heartland Ranch with the speed of a prairie fire. Gradually, those who have shared in the love and the loss, who have persevered and held on to a sliver of hope, begin to converge, drawn by the unbelievable, by the miracle now standing in their midst. Ty Borden is home, and each subsequent reunion is like a spark breathing life into embers long dormant, but never truly extinguished. Jack is the first to arrive, the unwavering patriarch of the family. He initially stands at a distance, his silhouette framed by the burgeoning daylight. His weathered face is a mask of stoicism, years of hardship having taught him to shield his deepest emotions. But then his eyes fall upon Ty, not as a spectral memory, but as a living man, cradling Lindy in his arms, and something within Jack gives way. A quiet, shaky breath escapes him. "Well, I'll be," he utters, his voice thick with a profound sense of wonder. He walks forward, his steps measured and deliberate, his gaze locking with that of the grandson he believed he had laid to rest. Words prove inadequate, but actions resonate more deeply. Jack pulls Ty into a strong, heartfelt embrace, his voice cracking as he whispers, "It's good to have you back, son. Welcome home." In that singular instant, years of unspoken love and shared history surge to the surface. Lou is next, always the pragmatic protector, the organizer. She freezes mid-stride, her eyes widening, her breath catching somewhere between incredulity and overwhelming joy. "Ty, is it really you?" she whispers, before rushing forward, her arms enveloping her brother-in-law. Tears stream down her face. We thought you were gone," she manages, clinging to him as if fearing he might dematerialize. Her mind races with 1,000 questions, about Amy, about Lindy, about the future of their fractured family. But for this precious moment, she allows herself to simply feel the unadulterated joy she never thought she would experience again. Then comes Georgie, swift-spirited and inherently brave. She doesn't hesitate, she simply runs. She exclaims, her voice a mixture of disbelief and elation, dissolving into relieved laughter as she throws herself into his arms. Her joy is palpable, her energy infectious, and when Ty laughs, that warm, familiar sound, it slices through the accumulated years of silence, like a beloved melody the ranch had almost forgotten. Finally there is Tim, ever complex, undeniably flawed, yet fiercely devoted in his own way. He approaches cautiously, his jaw set, a storm of emotions brewing behind his eyes. His relationship with Ty has always been multifaceted, part mentor, part adversary, part father figure, part critic. He stops a few feet away, and the air grows heavy with unspoken words. The silence stretches, taut and expectant, until Tim slowly extends a hand. Ty meets their handshake is firm, sincere, a gesture that speaks volumes. "Good to see you, Borden," Tim says, his voice gruff but carrying an undercurrent of relief. It isn't complete absolution, not yet, but it is an opening, a beginning, and for now, that is more than enough. The initial euphoria is potent, but as the days begin to meld into a new rhythm, the stark reality of the situation gradually makes its presence felt, settling like fine dust. Ty's return is an undeniable miracle, but it is also a moment of reckoning. Life at Heartland has irrevocably changed. Its inhabitants are older, the emotional scars run deeper, and the future feels more precarious. Around the familiar kitchen table, laughter tentatively returns. Shared stories, old inside jokes, and soft, hesitant smiles reappear like cherished friends after a long absence. Lindy, in particular, is a beacon of light, hanging on Ty's every word, her unbridled joy illuminating the entire house. Amy watches them, a quiet sense of awe filling her heart simultaneously with gratitude and aching with the memory of lost time. She has her husband back, but the phantom pains of his absence still linger. Later, under the vast star-dusted sky, Amy and Ty find a moment of quietude on the porch. The very spot where they once dared to dream together now offers a sanctuary for healing. They speak not just of the events that transpired, but of the emotional There were times I was so angry, Amy confesses, her voice barely a whisper. I felt so utterly alone. I truly believed you were gone from my life forever. I never stopped trying to find my way back to you, Amy. Ty replies, his fingers gently intertwining with hers. Every single day I was fighting for this, for us. They sit in a comfortable silence, a silence not of emptiness, but of shared understanding. They both know that rebuilding their life together will be a challenging path, but for the first time in what feels like an eternity, they are facing it together, side by side. The news of Ty's return ripples outward, beyond the confines of the ranch, reaching every corner of Hudson. The town that collectively mourned his loss now joins in celebrating his miraculous reappearance. Friends, neighbors, and familiar faces from the past arrive in a steady stream, bearing gifts of food, heartfelt hugs, and shared memory. Ty is met not just with affection, but with a deep sense of belonging. He is an integral part of this community, and it clearly never forgot him. An impromptu welcome home gathering is organized at Maggie. The diner glows with strings of fairy lights. The gentle strumming of a guitar provides a soothing backdrop, and joyous laughter drifts through the air. There are tears, heartfelt toasts, prolonged embraces, and sincere handshakes. Ty isn't merely welcomed, he is celebrated. As the evening begins to draw to a close, Ty and Amy find themselves on the small outdoor dance floor, surrounded by the warmth of their friends, their family, and the gentle hum of their community. They sway together under the starlit sky. No words are exchanged, no explanations are needed, just two souls rediscovering their rhythm, their connection, because that in essence is Heartland. It's more than a television show, it's a feeling, a poignant reminder that no matter how fractured life may become, love possesses an extraordinary power to guide us back home. However, Ty's reintegration is not without its inherent difficulty. The family must learn to navigate the intricate emotional landscape of his return, including the psychological toll his prolonged absence has taken on everyone. Moments of understandable tension arise as they all strive to adapt to this new, unexpected reality. For instance, Amy and Ty find themselves occasionally out of sync, struggling to rediscover their rhythm as a couple, acknowledging the ways in which they have both independently evolved during their time apart. Disagreements surface regarding parenting approaches and future plans, reflecting the natural friction that occurs when two individuals who love each other profoundly are confronted with such significant, life-altering changes. Lindy, too, faces her own unique set of challenges in adjusting to her father's presence. While undeniably thrilled to have him home, she also grapples with moments of confusion and understandable uncertainty. Ty, for his part, makes a dedicated and patient effort to forge a bond with her, taking her on gentle pony rides and dedicating quality time to simply being present with her. These scenes are depicted with a heartwarming tenderness, showcasing Ty's gentle, inherently caring nature. Lindy's gradual acclimation to Ty's presence and her blossoming affection for him are portrayed with remarkable sensitivity, highlighting the nuanced and evolving dynamics of their father-daughter relationship. Throughout this premiere episode, the main narrative is thoughtfully interwoven with brief,
poignant flashbacks of Amy and Ty's most cherished and defining moments together. These carefully selected flashbacks serve as a powerful, emotional reminder of the depth and endurance of their unique bond. The scenes revisit significant milestones, their wedding vows, the joyous birth of Lindy, as well as quieter, more intimate moments that beautifully encapsulate the essence of their enduring love story. These glimpses into their shared past not only evoke a sense of sweet nostalgia, but also powerfully underscore the emotional gravity of Ty's return and the preciousness of their reunion. Amy in particular is shown reflecting on the considerable inner strength she has cultivated over the intervening years. These flashbacks provide a stark, moving contrast to scenes depicting her present-day resilience, effectively highlighting her significant growth as both an individual and a devoted mother. She has, in Ty's absence, become an unwavering pillar of strength for her family, and her journey of self-discovery and perseverance is a central resonant theme of the episode. These reflective moments are further enhanced by a beautifully orchestrated musical score, which masterfully amplifies the emotional impact of these significant scenes. As the sun begins its descent, painting the Heartland horizon in breathtaking strokes of color, the episode's final moments settle into a mood of quiet profundity. Amy and Ty are seated together on the familiar weathered porch swing, its gentle rhythmic creaking a comforting echo of hearts slowly finding their way back to a shared cadence. The sky above is a canvas of molten gold, soft pinks, and tranquil lavender, enveloping the ranch in a gentle, almost ethereal light that feels like a benediction. It's a visually stunning frame, capturing not just the beauty of the land but the enduring nature of a love story that has weathered unimaginable storms. In this golden hour stillness, Amy and Ty finally allow themselves to simply breathe, to speak not as two individuals haunted by the specters of the past, but as partners, daring to envision a future however uncertain. Their conversation unfolds organically, with comfortable silences, tender, knowing glances, and words that carry the accumulated weight of everything left unspoken for far too long. This is not mere pleasantries, it is the careful, deliberate laying of new bricks upon a foundation that, while shaken, never completely crumbled. Ty speaks first, his voice quiet yet imbued with a newfound resolve. He shares his deep-seated longing to return to his veterinary work, to reconnect with the sense of purpose that once so clearly defined him. A familiar spark ignites in his eyes, a passion not just for the animals he has missed, but for this unexpected second chance at a life he thought was lost to him forever. Amy listens intently, her hand resting gently on his, her expression a complex blend of pride, relief, and a cautiously optimistic hope. Then she shares her own aspirations, her dreams of expanding the equine therapy program, of reaching more people in need, of building something truly lasting, not just for herself, but for Lindy and perhaps, she muses softly, for more children in the future. The unspoken possibility hangs in the twilight air, delicate, uncertain, yet imbued with an impossible beauty. They share a smile not of absolute certainty, but of shared possibility. It's a conversation steeped in vulnerability. There is fear undeniably, but there is also a quiet courage, the kind that is forged in the crucible of surviving the darkest tempests and still choosing to search for the sun. This scene transcends mere dialogue. It is a soul-deep promise, a silent vow that love can indeed rise from the ashes, that even the most shattered hearts can begin to mend when nurtured with patience, trust, and an unwavering shared commitment. Ty and Amy are not the same people they were before tragedy struck. They are stronger now, weathered by their experiences, yes, but also demonstrably wiser, and their quiet, heartfelt exchange beneath the fading light of the setting sun becomes the emotional anchor of the entire episode, a whispered assurance to the audience that this cherished story is indeed far from its conclusion. As the camera slowly pans out, capturing the vast golden expanse of the ranch and the poignant silhouette of two people rediscovering their home in each other, the music swells, soft, stirring, and full of an understated grace. It is the perfect resonant closing note for a premiere that delivered not just compelling drama but also